Now before you put the netting and burlap on, you can use the frame to set up the sprinkler system. It's a lot easier to set up the height of the bubbler with the frame without the netting and burlap on. It would make your life a lot easier. So you might want to head over and check out the video first before you put the netting and burlap on. So begin by placing the frame over the netting and just allow for a little overhang on both ends. Now having a few extra hands and a nice flat driveway will make this job a lot easier. And then begin by just tying a twisty tie on one end and just create a little tension and tie a twisty on the top end. Again, it helps to have somebody lift that up for you there. It will save your fingers from scratching on the bottom of the driveway. But all you need to do is just create some tension. Put the first overlap on it, continue to work your way around the edges. And take your time. You got plenty twisty ties, and just keep that tension as best you can. Then work your way up the middle, and just make sure you get that first overlap in nice and snug. In the early days, we used to use chicken wire to do this, and it's a real pain in the butt to put chicken wire. It comes in 4-foot sections, and you have to roll it on. And it takes forever, and it cuts the fingers off you. Even with planting, that's the reason why we don't use chicken wire anymore, because you just need an extra set of fingers after you've put the chicken wire on. Now go ahead and roll over the other half of the netting, and again try to keep, I won't say as much tension, just keep a little tension on it. Then go ahead and trim off the excess on both ends, and trim off any excess that you may have in the middle. You have plenty twisty ties, so a good 3 to 4 twisty ties on those vertical bars should keep that netting quite snugged. So go ahead and get your burlap. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's the same system again, and just spread it out nice and even and place your tower in the middle. Now we have custom sourced the burlap and the netting to make your life as easy as possible. But the burlap is invaluable, especially at the early stages of planting when, it may be 60, 70 degrees, but the plants are spaced out, and that burlap will retain that moisture, which you really need to help these plants, to establish. And then as the summer moves on, you'll be up into the 80s and 90s, but the plants will have grown that little bit and they'll provide the shade underneath them. But the burlap is very important, and once we started using that, it was a game changer. Sometimes we've tried actually use a double layer, which is beneficial, but the single layer works pretty good. You'll get the season out of it, and that's all you need, but it definitely makes a huge difference on your plants. So go ahead and continue to add the twisty ties. Again, just try and get that tension on both ends. It's a good idea to have one person hold the tension while the other person secures the ties. It's also not a bad idea just to climb into the tower. Have one person on the outside and one person on the inside. And basically what my guys do is one peeps out with one tie and the other guy peeps back in with the other tie, and it makes the job a lot easier. So there you have it. All these towers are prepped and ready for spring planting. So again, if you have any questions or concerns or need more advice, don't hesitate to contact us.